Have you ever felt like you didn't quite fit in? Like you were a little bit different from everyone else? Well, let me tell you a story about someone who knows that feeling all too well. His name is Stuart Little, and believe it or not, he's a mouse. But he's not just any mouse. He's a member of the Little family, a human family living in a cozy brownstone right next to Central Park in New York City. Now, you might be wondering, how does a mouse become part of a human family? It's a bit of an unusual story. When Mrs. Little gave birth to her second son, everyone was surprised to find he was, well, a mouse. He was no bigger than a cloth aspen, with a mouse's whiskers, a mouse's nose, and a mouse's tail. But he was also their son. So they named him Stuart, dressed him in a tiny grey hat and a smart little suit, and loved him just the same. Life for Stuart was full of adventures that were, shall we say, unique. Imagine brushing your teeth in a thimble, or using a tiny toy hammer to turn on the faucet. Getting stuck in a window blind was a daily hazard, and the family cat, Snowbell, was less of a pet and more of a lurking menace. Despite his size, Stuart had a huge heart and an even bigger spirit of adventure. He was polite, thoughtful, and incredibly brave. He never saw himself as just a mouse. He was Stuart Little, a son and a brother. His older brother, George, was a bit unsure about having a mouse for a brother at first. It was strange, but Stuart's charm and courage quickly won him over. They'd play together, with Stuart commanding fleets of toy sailboats on the pond in Central Park. It was during one of these nautical adventures that Stuart's life took an unexpected turn. One day, while Stuart was captaining his beautiful schooner, the Wasp, a sudden storm kicked up on the pond. The boat was tossed about, and Stuart was nearly lost. But he held on tight, a true captain going down with his ship if he had to. Luckily, he was rescued, but the incident left him with a powerful yearning for the open sea and grander adventures. He wasn't content just being a little boy in a big city. He wanted to explore the world. Then, something wonderful happened. A tiny, beautiful bird named Margalo fell onto the Little's windowsill, injured and seeking refuge. The family took her in, and Stuart was instantly smitten. He nursed her back to health, and the two became the best of friends. They shared stories, dreams, and secrets. For the first time, Stuart had a friend his own size, someone who understood the world from a similar perspective. Margalo was sweet and lovely, and Stuart's days were filled with joy. But happiness can be fragile. The family cat, Snowbell, grew jealous of the attention Margalo was getting. He saw her as nothing more than a potential meal. Snowbell and his alley cat friends began plotting against the little bird. One of Snowbell's cronies delivered a threatening note, warning Margalo that a certain cat in the house had plans for her. Terrified, Margalo decided she had to leave to protect herself and to keep the Littles safe from the trouble she might bring. One morning, Stuart woke up to find Margalo gone. There was no note, no goodbye, just an empty nest. Stuart was heartbroken. He couldn't believe she would leave without a word. But then, the friendly pigeon told him the truth. Margalo hadn't abandoned him. She had fled in fear for her life, flying north to escape the dangerous cats. This changed everything for Stuart. His longing for adventure now had a purpose. He wasn't just seeking excitement anymore. He was on a quest. A quest to find his dearest friend, Margalo. He knew he couldn't stay at home while she was out there, alone and in danger. He had to find her. So Stuart made a brave decision. He packed a few tiny essentials, said a heartfelt goodbye to his family, who supported him with tears in their eyes and set off on the journey of a lifetime. His father, Mr. Little, gave him a magnificent gift for his travels, a miniature, gasoline-powered toy car, perfectly sized for a mouse. It was a sleek, red convertible, and it was Stuart's ticket to the world beyond New York City. Dressed in his driving gear, Stuart climbed into his little car, waved one last time to his family, and zoomed off, heading north. The open road was a vast and intimidating place for someone so small. Every car that passed was like a roaring giant, and every puddle was a lake. But Stuart was determined. He was no longer just a little mouse from a big city. He was an adventurer, a knight on a quest for his lost friend. His journey was anything but easy. He met all sorts of characters along the way. In a small town called Ames Crossing, he encountered a kindly schoolteacher, Miss Gunderson, who needed a substitute for her class. Never one to back down from a challenge, Stuart, with his intelligence and charm, stepped in. He stood on the teacher's desk and taught the human children for a day, winning them over with his courage and wisdom. They were amazed by their tiny teacher, and Stuart left the town a local hero. Continuing his journey north, Stuart's search for Margalo led him to a man named Dr. Carey, a dentist who was also the owner of a very small man named Leroy. Stuart felt a connection to Leroy, another person who was different. This part of his journey was a quiet reminder that everyone, no matter their size or shape, is looking for their place in the world. As Stuart drove on, the world unfolded before him. He saw vast fields, towering forests, and endless skies. He thought of Margalo constantly. Was she safe? Was she thinking of him? He looked for her in every flock of birds that flew overhead, his heart leaping with hope each time. He never gave up. He just kept driving, always heading north, always following the faint trail of hope. The story, as it be, White wrote it, doesn't give us a neat and tidy ending where Stuart finds Margalo and they live happily ever after. Instead, it ends with Stuart still on the road. He stops to ask a repairman if he's seen a bird heading north. The man says he has and points the way. And so, Stuart gets back in his car, filled with renewed hope. He is heading north, feeling confident and optimistic. He knows he's on the right path. The story concludes not with an rival, but with the journey itself. It leaves us with the image of a very small mouse in a very small car, on a very big adventure, driven by love, loyalty, and an unbreakable spirit. And maybe that's the real point of Stuart's story. It's not just about the destination, but about the courage to start the journey. It's about facing the world, even when you feel small and different. It's about the importance of friendship, the love of family, and the belief that as long as you're heading in the right direction, you're exactly where you need to be. Stuart Little, the mouse boy, teaches us that the size of your body has nothing to do with the size of your heart or your dreams. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this wonderful story with me. If you enjoy this little trip into a classic tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories. Until next time, keep heading in the direction of your dreams.